Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here. I wanted to do a really quick video, hopefully not too long, discussing something that I've been seeing going around on Facebook. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, there was a video that a lot of people have been posting in the different magic groups on Facebook about a guy dressed up like Ronald McDonald, the McDonald's clown, doing a chop cup routine. And the routine itself was pretty rough, to be gentle about it. It looked as though the performer was very nervous, hadn't rehearsed a lot or enough to be able to perform the routine smoothly. A lot of the loads were really forced, and in many cases actually flashed outright. You could see the object under the cup before he produced it. So this video is not to talk about that trick in particular. This video is more to talk about the response to that video, which I personally think is kind of sad. And I won't name names, but there are a lot of people that I look up to in the magic community who are really good performers, who are excellent magicians, very well known in the community, very good at what they do, essentially making fun of this guy. And there's a couple of arguments that I keep seeing. One of the arguments is that he wasn't ready. He shouldn't have gone out and done this because it makes us all look bad, right? That is an argument that I hear a lot, and I don't agree with it. If there is a magician out there that is so bad at a certain trick that it makes all the other magicians look really bad, like, I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, here's an example. The Svengali deck has been around for how long? How many magicians have used the Svengali deck? I'm sure that there have been magicians, very famous magicians, that have done a very terrible version of the Svengali deck. Would you agree with that? Have there been magicians out there that have done a Svengali deck performance that has fallen apart, cards fallen all over the place, and just completely exposes the trick, right? Yet I demo the Svengali deck about 50 times a day at the magic shop, and maybe 1 or 2 out of those 50 times has the person even seen the trick before, let alone do they know how it works. Maybe 1 every 3 or 4 days is like, oh yeah, that's the deck with, like, you know, the XYZ, like how the Svengali deck works, right? Very rarely. Also, even more rare than that, have I ever seen someone tell me that they didn't like any of the tricks that I did because they saw another magician do it and the other magician did it poorly, right? So, like, that's not an argument to, you know, to rip this guy apart. If this person, oh, sorry, the other argument that I keep seeing is, oh, well, if this person doesn't get any feedback, they're not going to learn. Are they really learning, though? Are they really learning anything from you posting a video making fun of them on Facebook? Are they learning anything? Did you reach out to this person and be like, dude, I don't know who you are. I don't know why you decided to take this gig if you weren't ready. It was an official event. It was sponsored. I don't know if McDonald's themselves sponsored the event or if another company did and they just hired this person as a Ronald McDonald character. But it was an event that was, I'm guessing, televised, or at the very least they had a professional crew there filming it for local TV or for YouTube, or I don't know what it was televised for, but it was clearly organized and filmed by, you know, a professional crew. I don't know if they were just like, hey, we need someone to do a magic trick for the kids. Do you know anyone? Oh yeah, Johnny. I know Johnny. He does magic tricks. Let's have him come and do the trick. Like, I don't know if it was that situation. I don't know if this is a professional magician that, you know, has never done this routine before, but they wanted that routine. I don't know if maybe this is someone that's done chop cut before, but, like, they're not used to wearing the Ronald McDonald clown stuff, so all their loads got stuck in their pockets as they were trying to bring them out, and they were wearing the white gloves, and maybe they've never worn the gloves before. Maybe this is the first time wearing the costume. Maybe they wore the costume for the first time that day in the performance. They didn't have time to rehearse it. I don't know what the situation was, right? And I'm not making excuses for bad magic. I'm not saying that magicians should just go out willy-nilly and just like not care about the craft or anything like that. But my whole point is, there are a lot of magicians that feel personally attacked when a magician goes out and performs a trick badly. Like, I've talked about this on my channel before, like when, you know, like a 7-year-old kid posts a new magic trick that they just learned and they flash and the trick doesn't look very good. And then you have like all of these people like just spewing hate at this person. Like, you're ruining magic and you should just quit and like all of this stuff, right? Magic doesn't belong to you. I don't know who you think you are, but you're not. Like, magic, anybody can learn it. And they can perform it as good or as terribly as they want to perform it. And I know that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of you, especially if you're a professional magician and you've been doing magic for, you know, as long as I have or even longer, and you're like, you know, I'm out there trying to do these gigs and make this money, and money's tight right now, and you know, I've spent years honing my craft, and then this guy comes over here and he bought a chop cup. And obviously he learned Paul Daniels' routine because he was doing a lot of the Paul Daniels stuff, right? Obviously he watched that video and was like, I'm going to do Paul Daniels' routine, and then didn't practice it, and then like cold went out and performed it in front of these kids. I know it's really easy to get triggered by that, but you know what? It doesn't affect you at all. And if your argument is, well, this guy just exposed how the chop cup works now, so when I go out to do the trick, they're gonna know how it works. Really? That's your argument. That's what you're going with. Because I'll be 100% honest with you, if that's what your argument is, then you shouldn't be doing that trick. You shouldn't be doing any tricks, because I'm sure that something in your act has been performed before badly, and I'm sure it's been exposed. Right? I'm sure those two Asian guys that do the exposure videos have exposed something in your act before. Did you take that out of your act, or are you still performing that? You know, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's not your responsibility to go around and policing people and telling them what tricks are good, what tricks are not good, what tricks they are allowed to do, what tricks they're not allowed to do, because what's good or what isn't good is objective. Right? Or subjective. Which word am I trying to use? I'm trying to say that not everyone's standards are the same. Is it subjective? Subjective, right? Like it's like it's open to interpretation is what I'm trying to say. So when someone sees a magic trick, you might watch it and think like, wow, that was terrible. But then the person next to you was like, oh my God, that was so cool. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen, right? Here's an example for you. Aside from doing magic, in high school, I was very into rudimental percussion. I was in the drum line. I played snare drum. And not to toot my own horn, or bang my own drum, I guess, but I was really good. Like, I was a sophomore in high school, and I was the captain of the percussion section. Like, I was really good, okay? And it's because I practiced my ass off. Like, I practiced a lot. Like hours and hours on my break, on my lunchtime, before school, after school. I would practice a lot, and I got really good. And there was a drum competition at a rally for one of our high school rallies, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna win this competition, because I'm the best drummer in the school, right? So I go out on the floor and I start shredding like the hardest rudiments and craziest chops you've ever seen, and people really enjoyed it. And then this other guy gets on a drum set and he does like the most basic 4/4, like the most basic like drum stuff, but he won the competition. I didn't win it, and I was so angry. And why was I angry? Because like all the hard work that I put into it, right? But then I realized like the lay audience, people that are not drummers, they don't know the difference between 4 on the floor that this guy over here played and super complicated rudiments that I was playing. All they know is that that guy was more entertaining. Okay, so the moral of the story is that whether or not a magician is a good magician or a bad magician, it does not matter. It doesn't affect you, right? I know you think it affects you. I know you think that if a magician exposes the chop cup, that now you have to take chop cup out of your act, because every audience that you ever perform for now is going to know how the chop cup works. And I have news for you. It ain't the case. Svengali deck is probably the most popular deck of cards in the world, and I perform that all the time, 50 times a day at the magic shop. And like I said, maybe 1 or 2 times a week does someone say, oh, I know how that trick works, it's just this deck. Most of the time, they are completely blown away by it. And the Svengali deck is one of the most popular tricks out there. It's in every magic shop. It's in every magic kit that you get. If you buy a magic kit, you probably got a Svengali deck with it. So this notion that like this guy dressed as Ronald McDonald completely destroyed the magic for your act and now you can't perform the chop cup because he did it badly, I don't know what that argument is. So that's one side of it. The other side of it is the professional magicians that are like big names in magic that are really good, that are tearing this person apart. You were there at one point too, I'm gonna guess. Before you were a hot shot, before you were, you know, in everyone's, you know, in every magician's bookshelf, I'm sure that you were there and you did a show and you weren't prepared for it and the whole thing fell apart and you were young in your career, right? Like I'm sure that's happened to you. So why are we making fun of this guy? Is it because he's dressed like Ronald McDonald and this happened? Or is it because, you know, you're worried that this guy didn't practice and now he's ruining magic for everybody? I'll say it again, magic doesn't belong to you. You don't get to pick and choose who performs what and at what skill level they have to be before they're allowed to perform it. If I want to go out tomorrow and perform something that I haven't practiced, I mean, you can give me shit for it all you want, but that's tough. That's how it is. I'm a professional magician. I'm not going to go out and do that, of course. Obviously, I have a career that I don't want to ruin or anything like that. But like, you know, not everyone is striving to be, you know, a professional magician that's got a material in their act. Not everyone is like that. I see people all day, every day at the magic shop buy stuff, and it's like, that person will probably practice this for 5 minutes and then they'll maybe show it to one friend and it'll probably not be too good and then they might never do it again. There are some people out there that just want to learn a trick and just show their friends. So, moral of this whole argument, this is already a 13-minute long video, I apologize, I didn't mean for this to be so long, is we were all there at one point. We all had those shows that fell apart. We all had those moments where we did a trick and we're just like, crap, I'm not ready for this. Like I should have practiced more, but I didn't. Oh well, here it goes. And you do the trick anyway, right? It's not your place to decide that this person shouldn't or should have done the gig. For all I know, this person is not even a professional magician and maybe they took the gig for free. Maybe they just thought it would be a really fun experience to dress up like Ronald McDonald to do the show. I don't know who this person is. Maybe this person is a professional magician that's been out of work for the last, 15 months because of COVID, and they are about to lose their house because they haven't paid their mortgage. And this gig came along, and they were like, "Yeah, we're going to pay you $1,500 for this gig or whatever, but we want you to dress up like Ronald McDonald, and we want you to do this trick." Well, when's the gig? It's tomorrow. I've never done that trick before. Well, you better learn it then, because we need you to do this trick tomorrow, or we'll find another magician that's able to do the trick. You know, so like maybe that was the situation. I don't know. But what I do know is that it's not cool for professional magicians that I look up to be posting, making fun of this guy on Facebook and just like saying some really horrible things, like really bad, horrible things. Things that really made me go like, I don't know if you're the type of person that I want to associate myself with anymore. Anyway, hope that this rant reached out to some of you people. If you know who I'm talking about, please don't like name names in the comment section. I don't want to start drama. I just want everyone to get along. You know me, you know my shtick, you know that I'm all about, like, you know, just trying to have everyone get along, and it's magic tricks. At the end of the day, it's magic tricks. Like, it's a fake cup with a hidden apparatus inside, with a little ball inside the cup, and the ball appears inside the cup over and over again. At the end of the day, that's what this is. Like, if I was to go out into the real world and you know, stand out there with a sign saying, like, Ronald McDonald ruined magic for me because he showed kids accidentally how this trick works, people look like you are freaking crazy. Is that really the hill that you want to die on? That's my question to you. Think about that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already done so, make sure to click the subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell. That way you'll know every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to check out some more magic, visit us at o'brienmagic.com and be sure to check out our online magic shop where you will find the latest and greatest magic books, downloads, and accessories.